It's on. It is so on.
Pull up a chair, grab a cold one, smoke 'em if you got 'em. It's time for the Fan Happy Hour. On the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080. The Fan. Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
Hey, happy Monday. All you beautiful radio listeners, thank you for dropping in on our little Seahawks Fan Fest Monday. It's going to be great. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. The Seahawks should really have like a something, shouldn't they? Like
some sort
of
a
like the
shadow puppet
Longhorns or the
thing,
whatever. Like I don't know, yeah, like a bird or something. Like the 12s. Or, I don't know what they do. We'll figure.
I don't know. With the 12s, you got to be careful with one digit on one finger. And
yeah, because I think 12 is something like this in a sign language.
Are we supposed to show that on the YouTubes?
Whoa, hey now. If you're on YouTube, be sure to hit us up on the chats. If you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM, 1080 AM. If you're online at 105.1thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, listening through your smart speaker, use the text line. It's 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners.
Ooh.
How do we feel about parades? Do you have, Mr. Rust, any desire to go to a championship parade?
Oh, sure. In that instance, sure.
Okay.
If it came here to town and my Trailblazers actually won something, absolutely yes, I think I would enjoy that.
Would you hit the road, say a couple of hours north, to go to a parade? I think...
Not up there, no, because also I hate driving in Seattle, so it sucks.
I think if the Mariners had finished their season as champions, I would have been more inclined and more interested in going to a Mariners parade.
Okay.
Than I am. I don't really have any desire. I know it's this Wednesday. Weather's supposed to be nice.
Okay, sure.
They're going to go from Lumen Field up to Seattle Center at the foot of the Space Needle. It's going to be this lovely parade down 4th Avenue.
We'll throw some fish.
Somewhere between 750,000 and 1 million people crammed into the downtown corridor
throw
of
some fish,
Seattle.
Put some gum on the wall.
I think the Odyssey offices are on 5th. They'll be going up 4th, so you can go and do some work. Just go from there. But 10 o'clock in the morning going up in a February day, no matter how nice the weather, it just... I don't know. And I will say I'm a bigger NFL fan for sure, so probably a bigger Seahawks fan than I am a Mariners fan.
Okay.
But
I
there's
wouldn't have
something
guessed that,
about...
I don't think. I would have guessed you were a bigger Mariner fan than Seahawks.
Well, but there's just so many more games, and there's so much more nuance to baseball, I think is what it is. And I think if the Mariners were to win, and they still obviously have a chance to go and get somewhere near what they did last year, they could fall right off the cliff. You have no idea.
Right.
But maybe it's that the Seahawks already won one.
See, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and they've been to 4.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
is the
maybe,
Seahawks have
maybe.
one.
But I didn't go to the parade the last time, so it's...
That doesn't mean you can't go to this one, or it should be any I understand. I think it is a touch different because the M's have not been there yet.
The other thing is that I go to a lot more Mariners games. Now, there's a lot more of them. There's 81 home games. I try to go every year. It's a very different experience. You can go for, $12 or whatever and sit in the outfield
have, 10
and
times
hang out.
more games a season?
It is. I mean, it is almost right at 10 times more games. So you have this connection, I guess, with Lumen Field that is very different than what you have with T-Mobile Park. I went to 2 games this year. I went to 3 games last year, which is quite a few. But before that, there was a stretch of 10 years I didn't go to a Seahawks game. Probably not that problem. Probably 5 to 6 years. But not going to a game. But I go to a Mariners game every summer.
Yeah.
And being at the ballpark, being part of that, just feels differently. So I'm curious, if you're listening, if you're a fan of both teams, if you're a fan of neither team and your team were to win, I think the Blazers parade is the one that you have no excuse not to go to. We work in Portland.
We had parties for the plane coming home when they lost in the finals. You know what I mean?
Did you go to that?
Of course I did not.
Okay.
I wanted to. I think at that point I was 15.
Yeah.
I could not drive myself there yet. Still at that point. So I I am that old, but not that old.
I think the Blazers is the obvious one.
Yeah.
So the question is really, if you have an out-of-town team, whether it's Seattle or San Francisco or wherever, if you were raised a Packers fan or a Steelers fan or whatever it is, would you go? And does a parade do much for you? And like I said, for some reason, all day, yes for baseball, for football.
See, and here's the thing, too, is I think this might be part of the equation. So, like you said, with football, you've got 8 home dates a year. With baseball, you've got 81 home dates a year. The football game, the NFL game, is a big, like, live experience. When it comes to the baseball games, that feels like more of kind of an intimate experience.
Well, you know what?
So I think that's where the difference in terms of, like, would you go to a parade or not for that? I think that can be the difference.
I'll throw one more thing at you that I think might be it.
Mm-hmm.
The World Series is played on your home field.
No.
Not all the games, but you could win it on the road, but you have a chance to win at home.
Yep, absolutely.
And you have to win some games in your home field.
I think you cannot discount that part of it.
I think that also makes a big connection because I didn't put in a ton of effort to try to get to one of the NFL playoff games in Seattle, even though they were hosting, and we knew they'd be hosting if they won against San Francisco. Obviously, they host. So you got 2 games up there, but I made, 3 postseason games for the Mariners, and willing to make those efforts. We made accommodations for this show, and it was great. There's just something different about the connection you have with the city and the team and the feel with baseball because there's just so many stinking games.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing. You just said right there. You were able to go up there to Seattle for 3 postseason games. Did the Seahawks, how many?
But the other
3 Super Bowl was what, game 3 of their postseason?
Yeah, 3 games. And the experience at home, like we talked a lot about, would you want to go to a Super Bowl? You get a pretty good experience at home. The NFL television experience is about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
The NHL might be the only one in my mind that rivals baseball.
I don't care about hockey.
But being there is so much better than watching it on TV.
Okay.
There's something
that's fair
for the NHL where I'd rather be there.
That's fair.
For baseball, I do like the television experience, especially for postseason games, and you get all the drama. But being at a baseball game is I still think better than watching it on television, where the NFL is probably better watching on TV.
I think so.
All right. Well, let's move into our top story. So we have to change today's show, and I apologize for that. The reason we have to change things up, if you listen to this show every day, you know that on Mondays we talk about the dumbest things that I said the week before.
Well, and honestly, look, it's kind of we can fill up the entire show with that stuff.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. But I had to go and pull the clip myself today, because I want to give you the definitive take that I made for the Super Bowl. Here was my prediction as we discussed the game on Wednesday.
God, I hate you.
Here it is.
Are we going to get the full Sam Darnold experience? Is that what we're afraid of?
No, I'm not really worried about that. I think this game hinges on the left side of New England's offensive line. If Seattle can get home and make it difficult for Drake May, I don't think it matters what Sam Darnold does necessarily. If you can just be as disruptive as you've been at times during this season, I don't think you need to score 30 points to win this game as Seattle, which means you're probably handing the ball off a lot to Kenneth Walker. It means you're probably just playing safe in the passing game. I would expect that special teams will play a part of this. You've got an all-pro punter. You've got an all-pro punt returner. You've got an all-pro kick returner, same guy, Rashid Shaheed. And the special teams have been great for Seattle. What did I miss? Anything? They don't have to score 30 points, 29. They just need to hand the ball to Kenneth Walker if they can get to Drake May, especially on the left side of that offensive line. Well, what's that?
So what did he get? 27 carries?
He had 135 yards, 161 all-purpose yards. Check down. You didn't have to go to it. I just nailed that.
Did you buy a lottery ticket too?
I should have. Here's the thing: is the dumbest thing I did is I didn't trust that prediction nearly as much as I should have.
Nor should you, because you didn't win a damn thing this entire season.
I did not. And we have a winner for the Super Bowl. I can announce it now. Is
it me?
Rufio won the Take Your Pick. So congratulations on that. You'll be invited on. Yeah, he was great. Here's the other thing that happened during the game. I get a text message from the great Will Darkins.
Okay.
And he said, "This sucks." And I go, "What sucks?" He goes, "The Super Bowl." And I go, "Not for me." And I pretended. I go, "Oh, I've got a ticket on Michael Dixon to win Super Bowl MVP. This is going great." What text message or what tweet do I see this morning? This is from Chris Vanani, who is
Vanini,
athletic writer.
Yes.
Whatever. Michael Dixon has what must be the best punting performance in Super Bowl history. 7 punts, 47.9 average yardage, 3 downed inside the 6-yard line, only 2 returned for a total of 4 yards, multiple holds on bad kicking snaps. You could have made an argument.
Yeah.
And our very own Dirt from Dirt and Sprague was saying this morning that he would have voted for Michael Dixon. Was it a boring Super Bowl?
Yeah,
not
great
if you're
Super Bowl.
Not
Punter
if you're a
MVP.
Seahawks fan. If you made co-MVPs, the kicker that had the most field goals made and the punter that had this exceptional game, honestly, I wouldn't have been upset. That was the final score, and the final numbers won't match how much of an ass-kicking this was by the Seahawks, which is perfectly fine. Going into the fourth quarter, the Patriots had 39 offensive plays and 78 yards.
Oh, I feel like that's bad.
The left side of the line that I pointed out that needed to be good for the Patriots to put any pressure on the Seahawks.
I'm going to guess they weren't.
Will Campbell gave up 14 pressures by himself. That is your rookie left tackle. That is the most of any single player in any game this season. It was not the day that the Patriots hoped for. Well, why didn't they start throwing early? They scored that touchdown really early. Yes, they also threw 2 picks in that same time period when they decided to throw the playbook out and just go, hey, we're chucking it around the yard.
Why don't you just call the touchdown play?
Yes, and one of those ended up being the pick 6 that really sealed things for the Seahawks. So, yeah, when the game opened up and they started chucking it around, guess who scored more in the fourth quarter? Yeah, you put up 13 in that quarter. Seahawks put up 17. So that plan wouldn't have worked much better, but trying to be conservative, trying to go out there and match defense to defense, that's a very good defense. They gave up 8 points a game in their 3 postseason games up to that point. That was a tough one.
And by the way, that first half was much of the reason why I don't remember much of the second half.
That is fair. Let's do some in case you missed it. All right, in case. Is this the right one? Oh, I don't have the right jokes up.
Oh, what'd you do?
Oh boy.
What'd you do?
Well, there was a thing on my computer. That's not good. I was looking at the wrong ones. We'll get it. Don't worry.
Do we need to do the old pay no attention?
Well, you're doing
it.
You're doing it now.
Yeah, okay.
So you don't
Are you
have
good?
to do it.
Do we got it?
In case you missed it, Lindsey Vonn had another horrific crash in Milano Cortina Olympics over the weekend. Her father, Alan Kildo, told the AP that as far as he's concerned, the 41-year-old is done. Quote, "There's no more ski races as long as I have anything to say about it." Really? Did 41-year-old Lindsey Vonn just get grounded? Bad move, Dad. Everyone knows there's only one way to get your kids to stop doing something dangerous, and that is to show up at the top of the mountain with a shirt that says "Skiing is lit," and then to ask her what the T is on the downhill splits. Is that... You can't do that anymore, young lady.
41-year-old's dad says, no, she's done, no more.
Yeah, good news is not only her dad weighing in, the reliable and rational scholars of the internet have arrived with their medical expertise. It's amazing. These are the people who need a physical therapist after a heavy session of scrolling, lecturing an Olympian on ligament stability. Is that who we want to hear from?
My middle finger really hurts from scrolling this mess.
One of the trending online comments is, how could they let her race? I don't know, maybe because she spent the last 6 months tweeting LFG, Queen of the Mountain, every time she posted a training video, and we were the ones that rallied her to kind of effort towards this body cast.
Does she need permission? She's a grown-ass woman.
Yeah, no kidding. In case you missed it, Chicago White Sox have officially welcomed their new $34 million superstar, Munetaka Murakami, to spring training today. Well, they kind of welcomed him. That's a very strong way of putting it. They actually put a nameplate on his locker that was misspelled.
Of course it was.
Nice work, Sox. You're really doing great. You finally get a guy that hit 56 home runs, and you treat him like he's a seasonal hire at the Spirit of Halloween. Congratulations. Somehow the Cubs are the world famous for losing, but you somehow have cornered the market on being the laughingstock of the Windy City. Congratulations, White Sox.
Mm-hmm.
You are
very good. You are very good. Killed it.
In case you missed it, Serena Williams is officially back in the drug testing pool, despite her posting, quote, "I'm not coming back," just a few weeks ago. Look, I want to believe her, but can somebody check and see if she has the same PR team as Tom Brady? This has a 40-day retirement look all about it, doesn't
I thought
it?
was it not an Ozempic ad?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. In case you missed it, Raper.
Wow.
Whoops.
Hello,
Scratch
Dolly.
that when we edit.
Hello, Dolly.
Woo. I'm going to do a long pause here so people don't associate that as intentional. In case you missed it, rapper Drake bet $1 million.
Okay,
yeah. Hey. Rapper.
Maybe that wasn't unintentional.
It was unintentional. In case you missed it, rapper Drake bet $1 million on the Patriots and posted "Bet against me if you dare" on Instagram. Folks around the internet are saying this officially proves that the Drake curse is real. Drake curse, are we really still doing this? Is it possible that Aubrey Drake Graham isn't cursed, he's just dumb? Is that... Can we...
And how about did we not all already know that Drake is just a loser?
Oh, yes, I think. Rapper Drake is... Not
rapper.
Rapper.
Rape. That's a rapist. You're a raper.
And finally, in case you, we're doing great.
Horrible bosses.
Yeah.
Charlie Day.
And finally, in case you missed it, a second source has confirmed that Damian Lillard will officially compete in the three-point contest on Saturday. Look, I'm sure the doctors have cleared Dame to stand in one spot and flick his wrist, but am I the only one who is worried that a major setback during a shooting contest would be the most Blazers thing that ever happened? Is that...
Well, look, it can't go any worse than Lindsey Vonn on her latest run, right?
Yes, I'm not going to compare her to Lindsey. But we're talking about a franchise where a stiff breeze historically ends careers. I mean, this is... I heard some... You like that one way too much. I heard somebody say that this will be exciting, at least for Blazers fan. Exciting my ass. Blazers fans will be watching this like it's a Final Destination film, will they not? Like nobody...
Yeah. Right behind a log truck on Highway 26 toward the coast.
The money ball is the log truck, and everybody's like, look at him reach and put pressure on that Achilles. It's... yeah. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at 2:30, we're going to change things up because I didn't say anything dumb last week, so we will just talk.
That is not true,
We will just talk Super Bowl. But right now, we need to get to something we call the Daily Buzz, so you can get all the latest from the hot stove, from the NBA, and the Winter Olympics. We do it next. You're listening to Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
And trivial matters that got our attention. It's the Daily Buzz on the Fan Happy Hour.
The Buzz.
Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
All right, the Super Bowl is over. The Seahawks win 29-13 over the New England Patriots. Kenneth Walker III is your MVP. It was a fantastic game, provided you were rooting for the Seahawks. A lot of people saying that it was boring, but you know what? I don't know how greatness is boring. That defense was awesome.
It was boring, sorry.
Hey,
even as somebody who was rooting for the Seahawks and wanted to see them smash the crap out of the Patriots, it was boring.
Boy, did they ever. But, man, the hype running up to it, one of the best things that happened for me was towards the back end of last week. This is why the 2-week cycle for the Super Bowl can actually provide something good. Early on, I think everybody was on the Seahawks side. It felt like there was a lot of people that were going there. As you got into the back half of the second week, a lot of people talking themselves into the Patriots. It ended up being pretty much as expected, I think, from jump. But congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. They are the Super Bowl 60 champions. Congrats.
Super Bowl large extra.
The Buzz.
Oh, guess who else had a fantastic weekend? How about your Portland Trail Blazers? Is there a way we can set up the schedule where they just play the Memphis Grizzlies for the rest of the year?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, that's too bad.
Cool.
Scoot Henderson looked good on Friday, didn't play on Saturday. You do have another Blazers game tonight. They are going to host the Sixers.
I believe we left out something.
Oh! I have to get used to that one. It's there. It's in black and red. You're 100% correct. The ticket price to get into the Blazers game tonight, apparently,
less than the Super Bowl?
According to sources, just $13 to get out.
Pay more for parking.
Yeah, it is.
Or even a couple Max tickets.
Yeah, very exciting. Well, it'll cost you more to park. Yeah. What are you going to do?
The Buzz.
The Super Bowl losing New England Patriots have some good news. Stephon Diggs sure wants to come back and play for them. His cap number, $26.5 million. We'll see if that ends up coming to fruition. But I do love when they come out immediately after the Super Bowl and it turns into the hot stove. We've got predictions for the draft. We've got predictions for who's going to win next year's Super Bowl. There's a big conversation about who the Seahawks are going to play in the first game. The NFL does not miss a beat. No. They are right into it.
And of course, you got somebody like Stephon Diggs coming out right after the Super Bowl saying, hey, you know what? I like to get paid.
Yes. Yeah. Go figure that there's $26.5 million with his name on it. He'd like to come back. Go figure.
The Buzz.
Former Jets head coach Adam Gase is returning to the NFL as an assistant with the Chargers. He had a record of 32-48 as a head coach. He has not coached in the NFL since 2020, but he will be joining the Harbaugh staff to help Justin Herbert figure out how to either get blocking in front of him or run away from it. We're not exactly sure what the role will be.
The Buzz.
This one is a very bizarre story, but Falcons rookie James Pierce Jr. was arrested for allegedly crashing his SUV into Rickea Jackson's car. She's a WNBA player, and this is apparently related to a stalking incident. Good times. Falcons, you're doing great.
Doing great.
The Buzz.
All right, let's go over to Italy, shall we?
Sure.
Quite
the Milano Cortina.
That's right. Quite the opening weekend for the host country. Mm-hmm. They currently lead the overall medal count. Italy has just 1 gold, 2 silvers, but they have 6 bronze. That puts them in the top for the total medal count with 9. That puts them ahead of Japan, who has 7, and
that
Norway
1 gold came in
with
speed
6.
skating too, which I believe they have not done for quite some time.
Well, that's, it's the home country. They've got the big advantage because all the officials get to help them cheat. I think that's one of the things that you're allowed to.
That damn Russian judge on the figure skating.
Norway and Switzerland, it looks like, have the lead in the gold medal count, both with 3. The U.S., Japan, and Germany all tied with 2. Obviously, a lot more games to go, but there is your medal count update in one of the greatest sporting events that are out there. Again, name another sporting event in the world where at any moment you might actually see someone die. Does it get much better than that? I don't think it does. Let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk and see what we missed.
Okay, so bear with me here.
You're very excited about
Bear
this.
with me here, yes.
And I have no idea what's coming down the pike.
The scene is Plainfield, Illinois.
Okay.
Yes, it sounds like a town where a horror movie takes place.
Sure, yeah.
It seems as though that was also an appropriate moniker. A population of around 45,000, about a 45-minute drive to Chicago. But locals have taken notice of an abandoned house in the area. A woman stated to the local news that an exterior light began to randomly flash. Not only was this light flashing, but people noticed it was in a pattern. Apparently, Morse code for SOS. It has reportedly happened on multiple instances, multiple people seeing it. Police have been called to the scene, but have not yet entered the premises, saying the exterior was secure. Neighbors concerned about human trafficking at the location. Local authorities still refuse to enter the house. The owners of the house have appeared on local news recently, saying it is all due to malfunctioning solar-powered lights in cold weather. And apparently the owner brought his lights on the news, showing the lights still flashing SOS long after they were removed from the house. Do you believe
I don't know.
that?
If this is a publicity stunt for an actual horror movie, that would probably be the vote that I would take. But SOS ... Is that, or the other way around?
It is no, it's ... That's your
S.
...
Yep.
dash.
See, I've seen if I could remember what that was, but I got close. Well, whatever.
You got close.
So yeah, if they're just rocking SOSs out of the house, this is pretty.
Are they trying to go with like a new Blair Witch?
Why
project?
Not? Yeah,
because I saw that movie in the theater like before we all knew that it was a hoax.
Yeah,
like that was terrifying.
Was it really? Yeah, I don't think I ever got caught up in the hype with that. But I'll tell you, the marketing for that was brilliant, and that's one of the things with the way that we consume media now. Is get creative with the way you promote something. Anything can happen. So we'll see if it turns into it actually ends up being like a terrible human trafficking situation, like people are suggesting. That would be the worst case scenario in my mind. So that would be.
Files are buried. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy. He is at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of prime time with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
I just listened to the sultry sounds of Michael McDonald all day. They did finally make the joke in the Super Bowl. They did put the Michael McDonald on screen in the pregame show for the Super Bowl. Did you happen to catch that?
No, I didn't. Hopefully it was the same one from the 40-year-old virgin.
No, they actually had him live, and they go, coming up next, Mike McDonald, and then they cut to a shot of him, and he's like playing on the piano. He goes, I think you guys have the wrong, I don't think anybody wants to hear from me. Sorry about that. It was.
Of course, we all want to hear from him.
I sure did. I mean, I sent out a picture of Michael McDonald he's typically wearing like a black T-shirt or whatever. I have him at the piano, his gray hair just flowing in the wind, and I put a Seahawks logo on the thing. Sent it out to my whole family, and half of them just, who's that? I'm like, oh, come on, guys. So I love that joke made it all the way. So there's a bunch of things from the Super Bowl, so we're just going to kind of roll through them and kind of go. One of the things that is pretty funny is just looking at the guys that got Super Bowl rings for the Seattle Seahawks. Not all the guys that you would expect. Of course, Drew Lock.
I didn't get one.
Drew Lock.
A little disappointing.
Drew Lock, as the backup quarterback, of course, will get a ring without making any major impacts on it. But this is a guy that was on the Seahawks.
He held the hell out of that clipboard.
He was on the Seahawks 2 years ago, gets traded away, comes back and gets his Super Bowl ring as a Seahawk. Former Rams running back Cam Akers was hanging out, not playing, gets his Super Bowl ring. The one that I love, Eric Saubert, has played for 11 NFL teams. I don't know if you remember this earlier this season. Saubert was cut by the Seahawks only so they could re-sign and extend him because they thought he was such a good locker room guy. So they had to
We're going to let you go.
But they had to.
And then bring you back and sign you more.
Exactly. Yes.
We're going to sign you so hard.
They did, too. He was on a veterans minimum contract, and so they had to cut him to pay him more money and extend him. But remember, he was the one that caught that game-winning two-point conversion against the Rams in the Thursday night game. Former and current Seahawk. How about safety Quandre Diggs?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea that he was on the roster? So he got signed and was on the practice squad. So he was released from the Titans. They signed him up. He will get one. And cornerback Shaquille Griffin will also get a Super Bowl ring.
Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq Griffin. So longtime Seahawk and was hanging around there as well. So congratulations to all the guys that made absolutely no contributions, but will still be getting a Super Bowl ring as Seahawks. I absolutely love that. It was an absolute masterpiece by the defense of your Seattle Seahawks. 6 sacks, 2 interceptions, one of those, of course, being at pick 6. And leading
I heard 7 sacks.
Well, it depends.
7 sacks.
So some people saying that it was a pick 6. Other people saying it was a strip sack, fumble return by Nwosu. So I think that is where the debate rages. Some people calling it 1. I don't know what the official debate is on that, but that was Devin Witherspoon, who was awesome. One of the other brilliant things.
We do have this in the system. Hang on, and this is what Steve Rabel said.
1st and 10 at the Seattle 44. Here comes the blitz. May, Hennessy tries to throw. Ball comes out. Going the other way with it. Turning upfield, it's Uchenna Nwosu, and he scores. Touchdown, Seahawks.
So is that what we're saying? Maybe it wasn't a pick 6, but was a strip sack?
I've heard people say that it was a strip sack. I've seen it referred to as such.
Okay.
But I believe the official scoring said that it was an interception. The ball never hit the ground, so honestly, it doesn't really matter. So if you want to check and see what the official scorekeepers say, that would change your sack number. But Devin Witherspoon was exceptional in that game. Nick Emmanwori left Wednesday's practice last week with an ankle injury. What did this brilliant person tell you?
Not going to be a big deal.
Why?
Why?
Because Devin Witherspoon can do all the same things. He doesn't have the size, but he's just as good, maybe better, rushing the quarterback, and he was a huge disruptor in that game.
Oh, maybe something like this?
Blitz is coming. May gets wrapped up and dropped. It's Witherspoon again. Comes off the edge. I don't think May ever saw him.
Yeah, and one of the other things that happened in that game, I don't know how many of you did this at home when Riley Mills got his sack by picking up an offensive lineman and throwing him at Drake May. But my dad is sitting there and goes, who the hell is Mills? You want to give John Schneider more flowers than he's already gotten for this season? That was their guy that they just took a flyer on who tore his ACL at Notre Dame. And they're like, well, we liked what he did on tape. If he's healthy by the end of the year, he slowly got introduced into the rotation of that defensive line, ends up making a big impact in the Super Bowl. So just taking guys that seem to love football, high upside, paid off again for a defensive line that was historically great in the Super Bowl and was, again, 78 yards going into the fourth quarter. At halftime, 25 plays, 51 yards. So that means 3/4 of the game, you were holding them to 2 yards per play. Now, domination.
Here's what I want to know is that I think when we last saw each other on Friday afternoon, we got word that the other John Schneider, Bo Duke, was going to be in attendance. Was he there?
I never did see the side-by-side shot that I hoped for between the two John Snyders. So, no. I did not see that.
Anyway.
I'm sure you've heard this, but can you believe, sitting here now, that it's just happened? The second most turnovers of any team in football. That was the big worry about these Seattle Seahawks. Mm-hmm. They are now officially the first team ever to go through an entire postseason without a single turnover.
Wow.
Crazy,
That's
right?
Yep. Never happened.
Never,
not once.
Not a single team has ever done that until now. So congratulations to an offense that didn't, listen, they weren't really tested and didn't have to go out and take many chances against the 49ers. They forced 3 turnovers in that battle. They go up against the Rams. They forced 1 turnover there, and they end up winning that game in a shootout where you did have to take some chances. And then 3-0 in the turnover battle against the Patriots. So quite the redemption arc.
And for the way that the season went with the Seahawks and Sam Darnold and what we have called the full Sam Darnold experience, for them to not turn the ball over once in the entire postseason.
And add in one more game into that mix, that final game against the 49ers is for the number 1 overall seed. So you actually finish the season with 4 straight games without a turnover. Pretty exceptional.
That's pretty impressive
team.
For a dude that had been questioned all season and for not only this season but his past seasons
as an individual,
having to answer for the way last season ended in many for the Vikings. That's crazy.
As an individual, nobody had more turnovers in the NFL than Sam Darnold. So just a fantastic turnaround.
And then none.
It was
And then there were none.
Very reminiscent of the Joe Flacco postseason where he, I think, had 11 touchdowns and no turnovers. That team, though, did have a lost fumble apparently somewhere along the way, or they did a halfback pass that didn't work out too well. I didn't go back to search what that is. I will take these facts at face value that I'm reading.
By the way, I think you mean Hall of Famer Joe Flacco.
Not yet. Still playing. We're going to have to wait. How about this? Your kicker for the Seattle Seahawks, Jason Myers, was the first kicker ever to have 5 made field goals in a Super Bowl. He also becomes the first player ever to score 200 points in a season with the postseason and regular season combined. He finished the season with 206 points. That broke a 2006 record set by LaDainian Tomlinson of 198 points in a season. So congratulations to Jason Myers, who, again, I don't think I would have been upset if they said Michael Dixon and Jason Myers get co-MVP. That would have been pretty great. I think Kenneth Walker was too good.
That is kind of crazy, though, how LaDainian Tomlinson was the other points leader, because usually your points leaders in a season are kickers because of field goals and extra points.
I want to say 52 touchdowns that season for Tomlinson.
That sounds like a lot.
Well, year before, so the reason that I know it was over 50 was the record was set by Sean Alexander in their Super Bowl run. He had 50 touchdowns that year, and then it lasted all of one season. And then Tomlinson was like, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it was pretty good. What else do we have?
He was like, "I'm still going to be the better LT."
Yep. So let's see if there's anything else that I really need to get to. The Puka Nacua getting roasted is fantastic. He goes out there and puts a laughing emoji and Sam Darnold's name during the game and got absolutely roasted on the internet. Dez Bryant now owes his former teammate DeMarcus Lawrence a Rolex. I don't know if you remember this from the offseason.
I don't.
DeMarcus, well, it was just a text bet between Dez Bryant and DeMarcus Lawrence. So congratulations for you're getting a Rolex, you're getting a Super Bowl ring, you're getting all of those things.
Yeah.
Micah Parson, do you remember what he called Lawrence when he decided to go to the Seahawks instead of staying with the Cowboys?
Oh, no, I don't.
He called him a clown.
Wow.
And then Micah Parsons, of course, does not get re-signed and ends up in Green Bay, making all of that money. They both end up leaving the actual clown show, which is the Cowboys.
And who won?
And yeah.
Who got the ring?
Yeah. Absolutely love that. Let's see. This one's. I always hate these. This is kind of a stupid one. But we'll do this and we'll move on.
That's perfect for this.
I know that we have a lot of text. A historical run for Cooper Kupp, joining Jerry Rice as the only player with 2 Super Bowls and an Offensive Player of the Year award. Really? We can go out there. What I will say, Cooper Kupp, coming back to his home state, he is the all-time leading wide receiver in Washington high school football history, coming back and winning a Super Bowl for the team that he grew up with. Absolutely awesome. The final one that I will give you is that Drake May set a record, beating Joe Burrow for the most sacks in a postseason ever. In a single postseason, sacked 21 times. That broke the record of 20 by Joe Burrow, thanks in part to Will Campbell, who, again, had the worst single game, allowing 14 pressures of any single player in any single game all season.
Well, that and tell you what. How about this too? Throw the ball away.
We have a correction from something that has been spewed about the Super Bowl, and Sam Darnold, turns out, is not the first USC quarterback to play or to win a Super Bowl. A very interesting story that my brother actually uncovered for me. I will tell you the story of the first USC quarterback to play in and win the Super Bowl. We'll do that in one more for the road. We do it next. It's Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
Relax, hot shot.
Welcome back to the Fan Happy Hour. We're about to wrap things up.
Maybe you guys like what I have so far?
Wicked woman, cool creams and misters. You got a cool spell on me.
Let's grab one more for the road.
Come on, everybody. Everything's smooth.
Here's Luke Anderson.
All right, Mr. Russ, what are the people saying on the YouTube chat and the text toy?
We got Rufio on the YouTube chat saying John Schneider to all of the other GMs is like Matt Damon and Good Will Hunting. You know how effing easy this is for me? This is an effing joke.
Can I just say the decision that the Seahawks made, this is something that I actually wanted to see happen in the NFL, the fact that my team was the one to do it. What happens if you don't pay your quarterback all of the money? The Patriots had a lot of success where Tom Brady took less money, but actually moving on from a franchise quarterback like Russell Wilson, not paying Geno Smith a ton of money, trying to figure out what worked.
It's pronounced Russell Wilson.
That's correct. I apologize. But this was a real conversation that John Schneider and Pete Carroll had, and that's why Russell Wilson was so upset with the team, is because John Schneider was at Josh Allen's pro day in 2018 when Russell Wilson was looking to cook. And it ended up being the right decision moving on. You're paying a guy, $30 million this year to play quarterback for you instead of $60. And Sam Darnold was enough to win you a Super Bowl if you put a good offensive line in front of him, a great defense on the other side of the ball. So congratulations there. What else we got?
This one comes from Joel, also on the YouTube chat. How about Cal, Naylor, Wu, and Kirby all at the Super Bowl sitting in the stands amongst the common folk? They are paid to play baseball. Supporting the city is a choice. Love to see it.
Yeah, the teams genuinely love each other. I went to a game maybe it was the final game of the season. JSN threw out the first pitch. Super cool to see how much this city has really created two teams that are really likable. Ton of fun.
And then also one more here real quick. This is also from Joel, and I cannot fact check this in the moment, but at one point late in the game, Diggs had more baby mamas than yards, 6-5.
You can do that joke every game. At some point in the first quarter, he's still yes, but yeah,
that was late. Yeah, that's even saying late in the game.
All right, well, it was quite the beatdown. 78 yards going into the fourth quarter. Let's do.
Yikes. Thanks, Boz.
I am guilty of this. I said that Sam Darnold, the first USC quarterback to play and win a Super Bowl. A lot of outlets had the first USC quarterback to make it to a Super Bowl is Sam Darnold. It was posted after the Super Bowl by multiple media outlets that the first USC quarterback to go to a Super Bowl and win it is now Sam Darnold. None of that is true. My brother brought this article to my attention. Have you ever heard of a guy named Willie Wood?
Of course not.
Willie Wood is a 5-time first-team All-Pro. He is an 8-time Pro Bowler, and he played for the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
He was a safety for the Packers. He had an interception that sealed the game.
So he was a safety for the Packers.
Yes. He had the interception to seal Super Bowl I. He won Super Bowl II. When he was at USC, not only did he play defensive back, he was also their quarterback. Willie Wood was a two-way player, played QB and defensive back. He was the first black quarterback in the Pacific Coast Conference. He is a Hall of Famer, and he, ladies and gentlemen, is your first USC quarterback to win and to play in a Super Bowl. So
first off, I've got this hair here. If you want,
I understand that he didn't play at quarterback in the NFL. He did not even get a try.
Because we did a whole bit last week. I don't remember if it was this show or
it was this show
or my yeah.
Yeah, we went through all of the
Oscar winners, schools with both a Super Bowl winning quarterback and Oscar winners.
Oh, that must have been the other show because they did that in the pregame. Who cares about that? The Willie Wood story is one that is great. So he is a black quarterback, of course. He played 57 to 59. Of course, the NFL wasn't going to take a look at him as a signal caller. They didn't actually look at him as safety either. He hand wrote letters to every team in the NFL. The only one that gave him a tryout was the Packers. Vince Lombardi gave him a chance, put him on the practice squad. He got in the game as a punt returner, eventually became a safety, and like I said, a Hall of Famer. He had the interception that sealed Super Bowl I. So, tip of my cap to the great Willie Wood.
Is he the first person where both his first name and last name are both questions, basically?
He might be. Very good. Big thanks to everybody that listened. With that final joke, an enormous thank you to Jeff Rust.
You're welcome.
As always, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.
Forget about your scene. Give the audience a grin. Enjoy it. It's your last chance anyhow.
Hey, it's Dusty. Forget the roses. Score points with tacos. Victorico's Taquero Mucho Pack is 8 tacos, 2 meats, just $25. Perfect for game night, date night, or both. Available through February 15th. When you think of flavor, think of Victorico's. Online at victoricos.com.
Ooh, can you pass the sushi? This might be a new Valentine's Day tradition.
Sure. Can I top off your drink before the movie starts?
Thanks. That's a pretty bracelet. Who's your secret admirer?
Me. It was a gift to myself.
There's something special for every Valentine at Fred Meyer Jewelers. Choose from gold.